Well, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't see this coming. I should have basically seen this coming from a mile away, but I just didn't even think about it because there's so much going on. But overall, I think this is pretty damn hilarious. We have an article here coming from Bounding Into Comics that showcases exactly why these corporations and companies as a whole never put rainbows in their profile pictures when it comes to the Middle East. Because, of course, the United Arab Emirates has officially banned Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse over content that is contrary to the values and principles of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, they are talking about the whole trans ideology thing that's being forced and pushed in this movie. Now, this movie I'm hearing is very, very good overall. Just because it has some wokeness in it doesn't mean that it'll necessarily be a bad movie. But you do have to understand that when you do push this stuff in your movies, when you do make blatant statements like this movie does with the whole trans kids things, and that's a very hot topic right now, of course, you run a very high risk of being alienated and banned in other countries that do not play those liberal games. So we're going to get into this article, guys, but of course, before we do, just consider giving this video a like to push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing because we're on our way to 25,000 subscribers. It says, while he might be able to travel the multiverse, it seems like Miles Morales will not have the luxury of visiting the United Arab Emirates, as the country has banned Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse from screening within its borders due to the film's inclusion of content contrary to the values and principles of the Middle Eastern nation. I am not surprised in the slightest. And you know what? It's something that these studios know is going to happen, okay? Whenever they make the decision to say, okay, we're going to throw this massive, like, divisive statement into this movie, they're doing it because they know that that particular movie is probably going to be carried by the domestic market, which is exactly what's happening with this particular movie. If you guys notice, the domestic market's at like 70 some odd % of the total worldwide gross, and the remainder is international. So they knew that this movie was going to be carried domestically. So of course, since it's going to be carried domestically, they were going to shill for domestic ideology, which is pushing the trans thing, especially trans kids and all that stuff that's going on right now in today's modern, terrible world. It says, word of the UAE's decision was first announced, albeit vaguely, on June 12th, courtesy of the country's Media Regulatory Office, the official government entity tasked implementing and enforcing legislations, regulations, and standards related to media services and media content. Disclaimer, wrote the MRO just 10 days ahead of the film's June 22nd UAE premiere date via Google Translate. The Emirates Media Council monitors and evaluates the media content circulating locally, and the council confirms that it would not allow the circulation or publication of content contrary to the values and principles of the UAE and the standards of media content in force in the country. In the wake of this announcement, Reuters received word from the UAE-based Vox Cinemas that the movie had been pulled from theaters nationwide. Though this initial statement did not specifically say which piece of media had drawn the ire of the MRO, Deadline was able to confirm on June 15th that it was, in fact, Across the Spider-Verse. And is anybody shocked? I mean, I'm not shocked at all. You know, this is why they don't use rainbow profile pictures for any social media profile that's in the Middle East. We see it happen all the time. Whenever they throw up the rainbow flags in the United States portion, and then the Middle East portion is the same logo that they've had for the last 11 months, this is what you get, okay? So, of course, they're going to be perfectly fine, I think, with letting this movie get banned, because the domestic market is, in fact, carrying this movie. But had the domestic market not carried this movie to the extent that they were hoping, they probably would have either removed the scene or would have shilled for it at some point in time, or probably not even included the scene to begin with, if they could predict that far over the domestic market and international market sales. So, of course, this movie in particular is going to get banned for the trans ideology. They do not play that crap in the United Emirates. It says, while the government did not identify the content they found objectionable, it's been speculated that this ban was issued in response to both the recent fan theories that the film's version of Gwen Stacy is transgender, as well as the young heroine's hanging of a protect trans kids above her bedroom door, both of which promote concepts that run counter to the country's strict Islamic beliefs. As of writing, Sony, Marvel, and Disney have yet to offer any official comment on the MRO's decision. I don't really think they should comment because they know exactly what they did. They know exactly what they did. There's no reason to pretend otherwise, that they didn't know that they specifically put protect trans kids right here in the top corner. Protect trans kids right there above the door. She also has her father wear a trans flag on his police uniform. So again, it's not shocking in the slightest that this is a thing. And I'm sure these studios are like, oh, okay, well, I saw that coming a mile away. Unsurprisingly, this is far from the first time the UAE has objected to the LGBTQ content from being shown within their borders. Not only did the country only allow Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker and Marvel's Eternals to play in theaters by editing out their respective same-sex kisses from local cuts, but the country outright banned Lightyear due to its featuring of a lesbian couple. And to be honest with you, they probably were spared a terrible movie. They were spared a terrible movie. There's no reason to pretend like Lightyear was anything lost of value, and I'm glad that they are actually doing this, because again, it's rare that you see companies, or I should say, it's rare that you see countries stand up for their beliefs, right? America has lost all of their beliefs. It's really sad, but it's true. A lot of people don't care about traditional values anymore. A lot of people are just absolutely psychotic, and I know the vast majority of people do in fact care about that stuff, but unfortunately a lot of them are silent. They just want to be left alone to live their lives, and the vocal minority that is completely insane and all for these weird ideologies that are going to hurt people in the long run, they absolutely are the vocal minority, and they're the ones who are getting their way when it comes to media, entertainment, movies, all of that such. They get pandered to, they get virtue signal 24/7, but the United Arab Emirates does not play that nonsense, which I'm glad to see. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.